Look, this could be its own video, but I'll try to sum it up like this. The issue and controversy isn't whether Anita is right or wrong in pointing out the actual and real damsel in distress trope and doing a series about it. No, the controversy and issue is the gross reaction to it by many butthurt man-children and actual clueless little boys who think that this woman is out to take away their porn and video games permanently, and that she will somehow actually end up doing that.
Well, I guess we've been down this road before, right? Angry Joe says something completely stupid and dissenting to the vocal majority, who later responds to his claims. Afterwards, due to the overwhelming attention he gets, he is somehow compelled to throw fuel on the flames, to say he's not advocating for the pro SJW opinion, even though he got on his soapbox in 2014 and defended Anita Sarkeesian. Yikes. I firmly believe that there are two sides to every narrative, and eventually things become largely over-exaggerated as time goes on. In this case, Joe's heart is way too big in my opinion. His heart is also in the wrong place to ally with feminists or corporations who did comparatively worse statements. After watching his top 10 gaming controversies video, it's quite clear that no one should receive rape threats, death threats, verbal attacks, all due to thinking differently. Everyone has an opinion you're free to disagree or agree with. However, these characteristics carried over from 2014 into the recent Battlefield 5 controversy that Angry Joe is going through now, and it's dead obvious that in that video he's like a kid caught red-handed in the cookie jar. He never learns. Joe likes to generalize a lot, way too much for his own good. Some people who make responses to these claims aren't always man-children, they aren't always misogynistic, and they aren't always haters that need to be silenced. They're just people, just like you, and they have the same capabilities to disagree, just like you. When these tirades are created, however, that just deduces everything to name calling, and you're just proving that you really can't have a constructive argument in the midst of defending terrible PR. Everyone knows the story behind Anita, so I don't need to go there. Everyone knows how she shames gamers, so she has the right to be criticized. One of the creative officers at Electronic Arts called people uneducated because he said that women were actually in World War II and the historical inaccurate claims were bullshit, even though I'm quite positive, yes, while women were in World War II, there definitely wasn't women in World War II running around with prosthetics and katanas. So yes, that is historically inaccurate. Once again, I think he never should have made that claim in the first place, otherwise people would strike back with fire. The gamers just rub salt in the wound by conforming to their bad PR statements and choosing not to buy the game. I don't see the big deal here. In my opinion, my issue with Battlefield 5 wasn't due to historical inaccuracy, but I'll explain why the whole fiasco could have been avoided. My issue with Electronic Arts mirrors yours. The fact that they've been a shady corporation for the past decade mirrors your same sentiments. They claim that they won't shoehorn in copious amounts of DLC all the time. They claimed this for Battlefront 2, only to go overboard with microtransactions and place legacy characters in Star Wars behind paywalls. I already was skeptical of Battlefield 5. Their presentations were weak, their explanations of the game were weak, they were trying to sell fans on a CGI trailer with a gameplay HUD that was also weak. All of this culminated into releasing their game on the busiest fucking month you could think of. The busiest fucking month of October 2018, where Red Dead Redemption 2 and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 are coming out on the same month. So obviously some games in October are going to get buried in sales. No one can be mad about that. No one can be butthurt about that. When you release like fucking 10 games on the same month, then something is not going to sell. I know a lot of people are upset that Battlefield 5 is going under, but you need to understand what I'm saying here. EA created this recipe for disaster themselves. They literally went into the fucking kitchen and concocted an atomic bomb to shove inside one of their most beloved franchises. Now, female soldiers with prosthetics, it really didn't bother me that much. The most I did really was I noticed that in the trailer, and I made a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain jokes at EA's expense. However, that being said, I think most gamers need to recognize that not all games are going to be historically accurate. Most of them aren't. After all, Ezio from Assassin's Creed, he is hailed as the man who made the first fucking gun, for fuck's sake. The most obvious thing EA could have done is to debunk all the frustration, saying things in a positive light, giving more positive PR, something equal to, hey, gamers, we understand you're frustrated with us for depicting female soldiers with prosthetics in World War II when that's probably not entirely accurate. We've already mentioned that we like to create fun games first. We like to take liberties, as we've mentioned with Battlefield 1. Our games are not always historically accurate. They are just a creative lens in which we create worlds just for you to play around in. We hope you enjoy the launch of Battlefield 5. You see what I mean? Hot diggity dog. They told you everything you wanted to know about if the game is going to be historically inaccurate or not. That statement would have been fine. They told you everything about the fun factor, easy as pie, no strings attached. But apparently the gamers are uneducated and the game just isn't for a certain subsection of people. Don't buy the game. That's literally the worst thing they could have done, since there's going to be a rampant gaming climate in September and October. Lots of people are going to be looking to buy Pacific games, and then some games will be unfortunately downplayed because certain people are looking for certain things. Since you made this bad PR, that knocks Battlefield down quite a lot in terms of reputation, in terms of PR, in terms of what the audience thinks. And now there's a big tirade, there's a big us versus them mentality that's being created right now between the fan base and EA. EA is making things worse, and overblown reactions aside, I'm still surprised that Angry Joe said he doesn't give a shit about what's going on when there's a lot of forced representation in gaming, and it's a little bit baffling to me. It's hard to deny that we've seen an upsurge in female leads. That's cool. Females in gaming, representation in gaming, but it's expanding more and more into the market, and this newfound affinity for female leads, trans leads, bi characters, will they create compelling narratives, or will they be just placeholder characters to appeal to a certain demographic? Which I really hope the latter isn't the case. I don't know, man. I kind of miss those days where it didn't matter if a man or a woman was the lead character. It was about fun that drove these characters and the characterization behind them. I also miss the days where a developer didn't have to be forced to not release a game in the States, all due to conflicting backlash from modern SJWs. In conclusion, Angry Joe's heart is in the right place, but his head is up his ass by defending corporate, and his past history doesn't help matters. Some gamers overblow reactions to SJWs. Maybe some people should chill out. SJWs are also capable of saying stupid shit. Battlefield 5 is tanking in pre-orders, and the developer saying don't buy it just gives people initiative they need not to buy the game. Another situation that could have been avoided until EA started to open their big mouths. Good job, EA. Good job, Joe.